Hi there, my name is Tanya McIntyre, and I am a facilitator with something called SMART Recovery, Self-Management and Recovery Training. I also run a business with my husband called Red Roof Recovery. It's an addiction recovery program, relapse prevention, and ongoing aftercare. We do a variety of things together that we're very proud of. But right now, because I have time, I want to show you what is SMART. What's a SMART meeting look like? If you've ever wondered, but didn't want to take the hour or sometimes 90 minutes to attend a meeting, I'm going to quickly show you what happens on a SMART meeting. You'll often hear me say that AA saved my life and SMART Recovery gave me my life back. And when I went into recovery let me just stop that for a second. And let me do a proper screen share here. Here we go. Hello. Let's see if that works. So when I went into recovery back in 2009, the only mode of recovery available was the 12-step program of Alcoholics Anonymous. So I've been indoctrinated by 12 steps. And you know what? I went into 12-step meetings weekly for 8-9 years. However, I was also a chronic relapser. Every year or two, I would decide that I was cured and that I could go out and have just one drink or one pill or one line of Coke or whatever. I had myself convinced that I was fine. So I went in search of something else because I was going to a lot of funerals for my peers in AA and NA who were not returning from their relapses. And I knew it was going to just be a matter of time before I didn't return from one of mine. So I went out looking for something that I could bring to my community, something that would be more secular and evidence-based, something that might resonate with more people in my community and maybe save some lives. So when I found SMART, a couple of things resonated with me. It was cognitive behavioral therapy, and cognitive is just thinking. It's a thinking therapy. And you often hear it referred to as CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, and there's all kinds of cognitive therapies. Rational emotive behavior therapy is one of my favorites, REBT. You'll learn more about that as you continue to follow me and work with me, which is what I hope you will do after this meeting, whether it's on a SMART meeting or whether it's on one of my other meetings that I run through Red Roof Recovery. So here's what happens on a SMART meeting. I go through a quick PowerPoint presentation. The meetings are anywhere from 60 minutes to 90 minutes, depending on the time of day and depending on my time. So this is a 4-point discussion meeting. Sometimes you will see SMART have tool meetings, and there are lots of tools, not only with SMART, but just in general, cognitive therapies. There are literally hundreds of tools. So you see there, Positive Pal, that is my username on the smartrecovery.org community, online community. My name is Tanya McIntyre. My company is Red Roof Recovery. So we're going to just spend a few minutes learning about SMART's 4 points of recovery, helping you overcome addictions to harmful substances and behaviors. You're going to learn how to build and maintain your motivation to abstain from harmful substances and behaviors. We learn how to handle our urges without acting upon them, managing our thoughts, feelings, moods, emotions, and behaviors, very important. And we create a healthy and balanced lifestyle, whatever that looks like for you, because this is about you and your recovery. SMART teaches a variety of cognitive behavioral therapies, training our brain to change and manage problematic and compulsive behaviors. We learn to master our mind instead of being a servant to it. We learn how to change how we think and believe so we can change how we feel and behave. SMART Recovery is an abstinence-oriented program. However, we are here to meet you where you are and help you get to where you want to go. You're going to learn how to build a recovery program that aligns with you and your values. SMART is an acronym. It stands for Self-Management and Recovery Training. SMART is a nonprofit peer support group. It is not to be considered professional therapy. However, I've been doing these meetings for almost 4 years now, and I do consider them my professional therapy. Our meetings are open to anyone. Our discussions focus on how to abstain from any problematic substance or behavior. SMART's goal is to help you define, think about, and develop your values, build your skills around your recovery, and help you reflect on what you're doing to strengthen those values and skills. Our self-empowering support meetings help people who are abstaining or considering abstinence from any problematic substance or activities. We do not discriminate. All of your addictions are welcome here. Our meetings are free, confidential, and open to everyone, but nobody is required to participate. The meeting sequence is generally a check-in with participants, a short video with a CBT tool. We have some discussion among the group, and then we wrap up. Respect, honesty, and compassion are the bywords here. We stay focused on our own recovery experiences. We learn from each other, and your experience may help someone else, but we don't give advice. We just share what has and hasn't worked for us in our own recovery. And what is said at a meeting and by whom is confidential. So we ask that people respect that principle and just be considerate about silencing their phone, and when you do move around or eat, drink, vape, smoke, that you turn off your camera. Zero tolerance for misbehavior, and I normally have a co-host, a meeting helper. And then we pass the hat and ask for donations because we're a nonprofit, volunteer-driven organization, and we depend on donations to keep especially the Zoom format going. And I'm one of the few facilitators who actually talks about suicide. And I'm hoping that that will change because liability issues are huge with people. And talking about suicide can leave people open to criticism and possible libel. But quite frankly, I don't care. I think it's important that we talk about suicide. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, suicide rates have tripled. So we need to talk about it. It's important that you know that you're not alone. Of course, smart meetings that are here to focus on your addictive behaviors, but we're also here for peer support and to talk about the realities of what's going on in our world and what's happening to us through our addictions and our subsequent recovery. And sometimes suicide ideations can come along with all of those heightened emotions that come with life in general and recovery. So I encourage you, if you are having suicidal thoughts, know that you're not alone. We are here to encourage you to create a plan to stay safe and to seek help. And I always encourage people to reach out to me privately, to message me if they need help putting that plan together. And I'm going to say the same thing to you. Know that you're not alone. If you are having suicidal ideations, please reach out to me and I'll help you put that plan to stay safe together. So we normally open the meeting by asking you to take a minute to check in, and people do that by raising their hand or typing in chat. And we ask that you share considerately and not considerably. We can say a lot in a minute. And of course, we ask people that who are imbibing or using some mood-altering substance to come back to another meeting when they can fully participate. And then we end the slideshow, and I take you then to, we do our check-in, and then I take the participants to a couple of places that I like to show you. And I'm going to do this quickly now. Oh, look, there's me and my husband. I think that was our 25th anniversary. We're up to 31 years together this year. I'm very grateful. So then I wasn't very well prepared for this, and I apologize. So I'm going to take you to the smartrecovery.org website. And I point out the donate button here, which is very important. I ask people to even forego their favorite latte for the day and send it our way. It goes a long way to keep our meetings going. We are a nonprofit organization, volunteer driven. And then the handbook. It's less than 100 pages, and it contains a lot of valuable information, including a lot of the exercises that we do together on smart meetings in a group format. So there's a bookshop tab there. And then the Toolbox tab is one of my favorite places on the smartrecovery.org website, because when you go down a little further on the page, you will see all of the main tools that we use in smart recovery doing our group exercises. The wonderful thing about this is that they're all fillable PDFs. So you can just click on the tool and it will come up as being downloadable here. This is the ABC tool. This is part of rational emotive behavioral therapy. And there you go. See, it's a fillable PDF. So we do this in a group. Somebody volunteers to work out an activating event or a life adversity that they're having challenges with, and we work it out together as a group. So this is known as the ABC exercise, even though you can see it goes into D and E there, but very valuable exercise to go through. And then I like to take people to the playlist. Smart Recovery YouTube channel has a tips and tools playlist that I just love. It's one of my favorite resources. Oh, speaking of resources, Smart Recovery also has a valuable app. So you can have Smart at your fingertips. Smart Recovery on your smartphone. Look for that. So now next, I'm going to take you to Smart Recovery's YouTube channel, Tips and Tools for Recovery That Works. One of my favorite tools around Smart Recovery are these 28 videos. What I love about them, as you can see, they are short. They're like 4, 5, 6 minutes long. 6.5 minutes is the longest one, I think. And I'm especially intrigued around the acceptance pieces of cognitive behavioral therapy and SMART. This USA, unconditional self-acceptance, the UOA, unconditional other acceptance, and the ULA, unconditional life acceptance. It's 17 minutes that can provide you with a solid foundation for your recovery path. Those acceptance pieces are huge, at least they have been for me. So I suggest that you bookmark the tips and tools for recovery that works, that playlist, when you get to Smart Recovery on YouTube. So that is basically it. We then look at one of those videos, depending on what comes up in a check-in. And some of the meetings have 10 people. Some meetings, my meetings generally have anywhere from 50 to 70 people. I've seen some meetings with a couple of hundred people. So every SMART meeting that you go to is going to be different. Every facilitator is different. The key in recovery is to find a key that works for you. There's lots of different keys, hundreds of keys. In fact, you just have to keep looking, keep picking up the key, and keep trying it until something clicks with you. So we're training our brain so we can master our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And it takes time. One of my favorite people, Dr. David Burns, he did this book, Feeling Good, and he's got a great website, feelinggood.com. He says the most crucial predictor of recovery is having a persistent willingness to exert consistent efforts to help yourself. So I hope this was helpful, introducing you to Smart Recovery, smartrecovery.org. Lots of wonderful resources there. And I hope you'll follow me at Red Roof Recovery, redroofrecovery.com. My name is Tanya McIntyre, and I do my own recovery tips and tools on my YouTube site. A little bit different. I use my my book that I wrote in honor of my philosopher dad. My father was a single dad in the 60s, raising me while he was struggling with his own addictions. And I wrote a couple of books, actually. I wrote Mindful Wisdom from my philosopher dad, Sage Advice from a Single Father. And then during the pandemic, I wrote this one, which I set up as a bit of a journal there. So you can read the inspirational, motivational saying for the day and then write your thoughts and intentions for the day. I have found that the power of words is very powerful, and the power of the written word is life transformational. At least it has been for me. So I hope you will stick with it and learn how to, if you can't learn how to love yourself, at least learn how to really, really like yourself. So check out the Louise Hay mirror exercise while you're on YouTube and give that a shot. What we practice grows stronger. May the force be with you. And remember, you are the force.